Hello, welcome back to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and today we are going to continue on with part 2 of a 4-part series creating the entire workshop for the For Always collection. This video is going to focus on creating layout number 2, Legacy of Love, that features our oldest son, Colt, and his beautiful family. Definitely at this stage in the 4-part series, you should have downloaded the free guide, which is linked in the description, and you should have completed the straight cutting portion of the guide. So we are going to continue on now with layout number 2 in this series, and I've already reviewed in the previous video all of the materials and supplies used in this workshop, which are also listed in the description. But a quick recap: we're using the For Always collection with the pattern paper and sticker sheet that is all black and white. We're drawing in the color with the 12 by 12 sticker sheet and the coordinating cardstock, which are Desert Rose, Rosemary, Mist, Toffee, Black, and we're pulling it all together with French Vanilla. We're also using the background stamp set, which has these 3 great background stamps, the Love Doily stamp set, which has the Love Doily and 2 additional sentiments. So let's get started with layout number 2 in this 4-part series. We're going to begin by pulling out the 12 by 12 French Vanilla bases and adding some background stamping with the floral background stamp in Toffee. So I love how just that little bit of second generation stamping in the back on the base page really adds a great element of interest underneath the Toffee cardstock. So we're going to take out our Versamat, cover it with our all-purpose mat, which is my favorite way of stamping, pull out the 12 by 12 French Vanilla base pieces, the Toffee ink, and then go ahead and load the floral background stamp on the block. And we're going to stamp 2 rows in second generation Toffee. So go ahead and ink up your stamp, and then we're going to stamp off onto a piece of scratch paper and then stamp again on the right side of that base. So you're going to repeat this on your second piece of 12 by 12 French Vanilla, and then we'll use one for the left page and one for the right page. So we're simply going to connect the stamp 2 more times to be able to create that full row of stamping on the right page. Now in the previous video 1 of 4 in the series, when we created layout 1, I talked about how the edge of this stamp set is a little uneven, so it makes it really easy to line it up. You don't have to be so perfect to get exactly straight on the edge, and the pattern just flows. So it looks really, really smooth, and you don't have to be so worried. Sometimes when I'm trying to line up a stamp perfectly, I won't quite get to the edge, or I'll get over the edge, and then I get a little bit frustrated. But this stamp is super easy to line up because of the wavy pattern. So now we're going to create a second row of second generation Toffee stamping so that we have a nice thick edge of that. And when we pull over the floral strip and the Toffee strip, it's just going to look beautiful peeking out from underneath. So once we complete this step, you're going to pause the video, pull out your second 12 by 12 base page, and repeat your performance. It's going to be on the left side of the page, but if you want to stamp it just like we did here on the right, you can simply flip it over for the left page when we begin the assembly. So go ahead and pause the video and complete that step. Now we're going to do a little bit of background stamping on the French Vanilla photo mat. Again, just to add that tiny little bit of interest peeking out from behind the photo. We're going to use the Love Doily set and the Toffee ink again, and we're going to stamp just not quite even a fourth of the doily in a couple different tones. So we're going to come in with the second generation Toffee by stamping it off first, and then we're going to come back in on that corner with regular toffee ink. And it just is so fun to put those two tones on the corner. We're going to repeat that in the upper right corner. It's easier for me to flip that photo mat around and stamp, I suppose if you're left-handed or if you don't have a problem stamping the opposite direction, you can just simply stamp that in the upper corner. I'm going to flip mine around and stamp it in the lower corner, and then we'll have it on both ends. So again, first the second generation toffee, then coming back in with the regular strength toffee. There we go. It's going to be so pretty just simply peeking out from behind the photo. Now we're going to pull out some of the cardstock and pattern paper pieces that have journaling lines on them. This is just another little added technique, and I feel like a broken record when I say to add interest. It's just some of those details where once you add up all those little details, it's so pleasing to your eye. Sometimes when you look at a layout, you don't even know what all combinations are making you feel positive about that layout. But a lot of times it's just all the little details added up. And I love to be able to do a lot of little things that add up to a big wow on a page. So I'm actually just simply pulling out both large toffee pieces. Then there's a small toffee square. Then there's also going to be the handwriting paper, the black and white handwriting paper. And we're actually going to just add journaling lines to all of those. I like to put my journaling pen at the top and then pull downward and use kind of the bottom part of my palm to give me balance in creating those journaling lines. Now, if you're very picky, you can use a ruler and create all of your journaling lines with a ruler, but honestly this look is a popular look and it is easy and quick and fast, and it's a very fast way that doesn't cost really anything to be able to add to your pages. So I'm not doing all of those pieces on camera. You can pause the video and you can finish all of those pieces. I'll show you the black and white writing page here, or piece after this, so that you can see the one that we're going to be adding those journaling lines to. This is really one of the easiest layouts out of the whole four-part series. It's such a gorgeous layout, and it allows you to have multiple photo opportunities, but it really takes nothing to put together. It's going to be so fast, and we're just literally adding elements to the page to add interest because the base of the layout is super easy. So we're going to now start assembly already. So I'm going to take the large floral piece. We're going to work on the left page. And so make sure that your stamping is on the left side of the base. We're going to add that large floral piece, and you're simply going to center it up to the top. And then we're going to add the toffee cardstock to that piece, and we're building upward from there. Of course, according to the cut guide, you should have torn the bottom of those pieces. So if for some reason you didn't get those bottom pieces torn, you can pause the video and make sure that your large floral and your toffee piece are torn across the bottom. Then we're going to add that writing piece that I had you add the journaling lines to, and we're just sort of stacking. We're just stacking things up on top of each other to create all of this beautiful layering. Now we're going to take the black photo mat and we're centering it over to the left side so that we have some space to add some strips and some interest over to the right. Then we're going to add the photo mat that we added the beautiful stamping on the corners, and we're adding that on top, and we're finishing that off with the photo. Now you can actually even add a little bit larger of a photo to this. I opted to add this size photo so that the interesting stamping showed through on the bottom. Now we're going to actually add some strips. So what I've done is I've added the dot zip strip, the 1/2 by 12 dot zip strip, to the strip of it is the black strip that has the doily patterns in the background. And I've added that dot strip to the bottom of that, and then I've just added that strip and I'm hugging it right underneath, and it is 7.5 inches down from the top of the page for your piece. Now, if your pieces aren't exactly the same as mine and you're off by 1/4 of an inch or a little bit in one direction or the other, simply adjust that strip and then you'll adjust the right page strip as well. Now we're going to pull out a black cardstock piece that we cut in the straight cutting portion, and I've directed you in the cut guide to just snip about 1/2 inch on a diagonal off of the end of that black cardstock piece to create an arrow. What I like to do often is I like to take the sticky off the back of the stickers in the sticker sheet with my anti-static pouch, and then I like to use those stickers as additional patterns, especially if the stickers are an odd shape or a different shape that I can't create by hand, or that I can't create on my Cricut, or that would be more work to create on my Cricut. I like to lay those stickers so that I have additional elements that are the same shape to tie that shape in for the rest of the workshop. And I do this all the time. All the time. It just helps me have extra bits and pieces, even if it's out of other pattern paper and cardstock. I don't have to have any special equipment. I can simply use the stickers from the sticker sheets as a pattern. I'll do that with stickers that are like oval on the top but flat on the bottom, or that have just different shapes. I'll also do that with dovetailed pieces if I want to have the exact same dovetail at the end. Dovetails are easy to make. These arrows are easy to make, but it's a tip that you can use sometimes if there is a shape in the sticker sheet that you want to duplicate and use to be able to tie other layouts in the series together. It's a great tip to use. So now I'm just simply, I cut out this word piece from a sticker, and I'm dovetailing the end. And again, if you've never dovetailed before, you simply cut up in the center of the sticker about 1/2 inch, typically a little smaller if it's a smaller piece, and then you're going to cut inward from both corners to create that perfect little dovetail. So now we're just adding strips and bits and pieces to the right side, and we're adding interest, and then we're going to add a circle sticker. A lot of times when you have a lot of straight pieces, it's nice to pull in a different shape and pull in like that circle sticker, and add a little bit of different elements of interest. I keep saying elements of interest, but that's what it is. Now we have the Legacy of Love sticker, and I'm taking all the sticky off the back and then adding foam tape to that so that parts of that sticker don't push down and bend and bow. You want the foam tape to be making that sticker flush, and then we're going to add that sticker to the bottom of the photo, and then we'll be adding some of those star doily clusters that we created in part 1 of the series. So in part 1 of the series, if you're entering the series a little late, part 1 we created all of the star doily pieces that we needed to create, all of the star doily clusters for all of the remaining layouts. We didn't do any of the additional stamping for the rest of the layouts. We just did the doilies so that we wouldn't have to stop on each video for each layout and create those. So you're going to add that star doily to the corner of the Legacy of Love sticker. And now we're going to add the love sticker to the top, and it's going to just sit between the toffee and the floral pattern to be able to be on the transition there. Then we're going to add a little circle sticker to the top of that, little black circle sticker to the top of that. And once we have done that, we are to the point of embellishing with clear gems. Wasn't that simple and easy? And it's such a beautiful page that really focuses on a gorgeous photo there. Now we're going to move to the right page. So the stamping that we created previously will be on the right hand side. We're going to add the floral strip, center it vertically, and because the tiering will make our pieces a little bit different from each other's, it's approximately 3/4 of an inch. So you're going to just lay that strip there, and then you're going to overlap that piece about halfway with your toffee cardstock. We're going to center our photos on that. You're going to match up the strips that we placed on the left hand page, those exact same strips on the right hand page. So if you went 7.5 inches down like the instructions said, you're going to put those strips 7.5 inches down again on this page. But if you changed the distance because your pieces were a little different than mine, then obviously you're just going to match those strips up between the right and the left page. So it's easier for me to go ahead and add those strips so that I know I'm in the right spot before I add my photos and get my photos centered. So again, if you followed the instructions and did it in the same manner that I did, you're approximately 7.5 inches down from the top of the page. And so these strips, again, just to recap, are the dot zip strip layered over the top of the black doily strip, and it's more toward the bottom of that strip, so there's a little more of that doily strip showing at the top, and then you're adding the word strip to the bottom of that. I just love the simplicity of this page. It's just so quick and easy to put together. It's a great go-to page if you wanted to scrap your stash. Now we're adding the journal square to the bottom. I'm going to add a couple stickers to the top of that journaling square as well, but we can go ahead and center our photos at the top of this on the strip. And then we're going to move to the left and just simply line up the photos to the left and add a little bit of interesting pattern in one of the photo squares. Now, if you want an additional photo, you can actually add a photo in the spot where the decorative pieces are if you want to, but I love that decorative element in there. If you wanted to also, you could actually add smaller photos to the left of the journaling square and get even more photos in there because there's quite a bit of French vanilla space there. I loved the look of the squares actually coming down in a diagonal, and I liked that added just that added touch to be able to be so pleasing to the eye. But I know there are people who absolutely just love to add as many photos as possible to a page. So if this is you, feel free, go right ahead and do that. Now we're adding the black and white pattern paper piece in that square. We're adding the toffee cardstock piece, centering that, the piece that we journaled on. We're popping up the heart sticker with foam tape and popping that up on the toffee. And then we're going to add those were the days sticker. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to the right of that sticker just so that sticker stays balanced. And we are so close. This was so quick, so easy, and it's such a go-to layout. You could recreate this many, many times over with papers from your stash. So I'm going to cut off the tip of a Life Well Lived sticker, the circle sticker, and I'm laughing at myself now because I'm telling you to keep the top. How many times you need just a little round bit coming out of some straight pieces. I know that seems tiny, but I will do that. I will save those little teeny tiny bits that I snip off of stickers and use them in other places. It totally stretches that sticker pack. And if you're trying to get many more layouts out of a workshop than what actually come with a workshop, adding all those little extra bits of stickers really, really help. Don't be afraid to cut apart those stickers and save those little pieces pieces and put them in different places. Now we're going to add the star flower cluster that we created. And again, just to recap, there's 3 little clear gems in the center of that cluster. And now all we have is adding those clear gems in different places to embellish the page. We did it. You did it. So easy, so beautiful, so elegant looking. And I hope you enjoyed this process video completing layout number 2 of 4. So now if you're up with me, you should have layout 1 and layout 2 completed in this 4-part series. We're going to move on to layout number 3 in video 3 or 4, which will be up next. I hope you share your creations if you recreated these with me, and I hope you'll make a comment and let me know what you liked about this video and if there's anything that was helpful or that you learned. And on we go in the next video of this series. Here's a peek of the next video that we're going to complete. Thank you so much for watching and happy scrapping. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.